Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on KSTW 11.
Welcome in to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon, almost Sunday evening at this point in time with us. My name is Caleb Hart, two-time feature winner, Chad Fitzpatrick on color commentary tonight. Welcome back, Chad. First, congratulations on win number 2. Home Track Heroes co-hosting has been successful for everybody this year. And
yes, it has.
We've got a great show coming up tonight.
We got a lot going on here. We've got figure 8 sprint cars and Hornets.
Yeah, let's get to her. We got a packed program for you guys. It is Bardol Championship Night number 2 presented by Smoky Point Concrete. And the Hornets going on the road course once again. This is the Interstate Battery Hornet B main event with Chuck Fisher, the 06 on the pole. Sponsored by DCL Construction. Next to him, Elijah Delfell, the Geno's Pizzeria in Lake Stevens, number 22.
The 08 is Bobby Hauk, and the 32 car, Preston Brandt, sponsored by North Country Towing.
7 decades of racing for Pete Jensen, the 521. He's sponsored by Napa. Next to him, Trinity Rosal, the CB Gutters, number 48.
The number 5 is Carly Croft, sponsored by Crofts Removal, and the 46 of Jesse Shaw.
Final 3 starters, 16B Cooper Sims, 21 Matt Somerville, and Diesel Snyder is in a car numbered the 717, but it might look a little different than his normal 717. But there Diesel is at the back of the field and ready to roll as we are Green Flag and Racing.
We are green. It looks like we got Baby Grizz up front in the 22 car, as it looks like Bobby Fisher hanging tight in that second spot. Good battle for the final transfer spot, Trinity Rosal, and the 08 of Hauk getting into it, and we got problems already.
Oh, it's all right. They'll sort it out, or they won't. Carly Croft with some problems coming off the corner as we are underway. 20-lap B feature here for the Hornets on the, what I would call, traditional road course for them that loops all its way through the center intersection, big left-hand turn onto the back straightaway of the 3/8 mile, and then all the way through.
Yeah, this is probably the most used road course. One of the easier ones to get a big field of cars on, and probably one of their faster road courses as well. And a battle up front between Delfell and Fisher starting to heat up there as Fisher looking to the inside of Delfell. Can't quite make it happen. And that 48 of Rosal and the 32 of Brandt keep getting into each other.
Preston Brandt, the world's tallest Hornet driver. He used to be the world's tallest youth Hornet driver, but he graduated here. All of like 6 foot, I want to say 6 inches tall, maybe 6'5". He's a big kid. They got to do a lot, to the point where they almost custom ordered him a special seat for his height. Side-by-side battle for the top spot. Fisher down low, Delfell up high, advantage. Fisher coming down the back straightaway.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. In the 521 of Pete Jensen, 7 decades of racing out here. And we got the 21 of Matt Somerville. You've been seeing him up at Skagit Speedway lately, so it's great to see him back here at his home track at Evergreen Speedway.
He is versatile, as equally fast on the dirt as he is on the pavement stuff. It's nice to see him. Oh, well, that was uncalled for.
Yeah, it looks like Diesel Snyder and the borrowed car, as that didn't really hinder our leader. He stays the leader, but Trinity Rosal grew about 2 more spots from that.
Well, actually, that wasn't Diesel. That was the 16B of Cooper Sims who was sitting there who had the door shot. But you know what they say. You know what John Zaretsky says, right?
You can't hurt borrowed equipment.
You can't. Nice call on that one. Shout out to John for that. So we'll clear Sims, and unfortunately, that was weird. Anyways, we're back to action. 4 down, and 16 to go.
A little bit of a smaller field this time.
Yeah, then there were 8 quickly from the original, much more than 8.
So Delfell, your leader now. Rosal with a really good run that time, as we'll see that I believe is Diesel Snyder that just went into third, driving a Sage Frazier car?
Sage Frazier car is what we were told on this one. Now he's got a neat little run going down to the inside of Delfell for second. Taking a look, can he make the pass going into the corner? And there, door panel to door panel, at least at the apex, you can see Delfell sliding out, pushing wide, and give the spot to the 717 of Snyder.
So the battle on the track is for the lead now as Rosal and Frazier get together. Delfell trying to get underneath and join that action as well. A 3-car breakaway for the lead. Here comes Somerville as well.
Somerville is not done, doing everything he can to catch back up. Look at that. They're 3 wide, and it's Diesel Snyder who was about to be the meat in the sandwich, but drives right through the middle, and he's going to take the top spot coming as we complete another lap.
Yeah, what a great battle. And this is just for a B main.
Right?
I can't wait to see when we got all 22 cars out here for the A main event, as now Somerville looking to maybe get another spot as the 08 of Houghton. He is trying to fight into the A main as Somerville has the final transfer spot.
Now that they fan out and go single file, Somerville's going to have a much better chance to attack and pick his line. It's kind of hard when literally all three grooves are blocked coming through a corner.
Yeah, and it seemed to work this time as now Somerville into third. He knows for sure that he is in the A main, get a little loose to the corner there, as he now has his eyes set on Trinity for second.
It's interesting to watch them through that camera point going into that corner of how much steering input and how much they're having to move their hands to get these cars in and around. It's manual steering in a lot of these four-cylinders, and that can wear you out as Somerville going to make the move on Rosal to the inside. He's got second.
So it is very difficult, especially right where Somerville's going now. The car is trying to jerk one way and then jerk back the other way because of all the weight.
Correct.
So, you're trying to keep the car from hitting the tires.
You look at it within, 250 feet, you've got a not subtle left. It's a decent turn radius left, a very quick right, and then a very sharp left coming after that. There's a lot of movement coming out of these cars. You'll see it right here. Here's the right-hand turn, and then that smart little hook left right off of it. You really have to have your stuff on point in order to get through that weight transfer section quickly.
You most definitely do. And also, while that's happening, you're downshifting into second, too.
Oh, wow.
So you are moving your feet, you're moving your hands. It's kind of stressful when you haven't done it for a while.
So where are you making the shift to second? Is it right about middle of the intersection?
So personally with me, I am downshifting right where Eli just went into the second turn of the 5th mile.
Okay, so almost even with that Uke tire?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's to slow the car down enough, and it also you obviously want to get into the second gear because you're going to be going so slow through there. But it's also revving the motor up to slow it down. Too.
Sure.
So you're not on the brake as hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're doing that instead of, or as that's a substitute for hitting the brake, but at the same time, you want to be in the lower gear getting through the corner as well. That way you can get better acceleration coming off this little pinch right there.
Exactly, and it looks like the 48 of Rossel went off the track, and I believe that's a battle for third as Dell fell into third, and Rossel is in jeopardy of losing the final transfer spot.
Well, Trinity has fallen a spot back, and now to the inside. That's Bobby Houck in the 08. Down goes Bobby. They are door panel to door panel through the corner. Trinity surges back. Now let's see if Houck can do something coming off and onto the back straightaway. Doesn't look like it. Trinity, a nice rally there to keep fourth.
Yeah, that was a great job of driving by everyone. We'll see if we can have Pete Jensen show those youngsters how it's done. We've got 8 more laps for him to prove it.
I was going to say, what is there, like a 60-year age gap between Pete and Trinity if he can get up there?
Probably more than that. Probably 62 or 64 years.
Wow. But, hey, competitive. The car's still making good laps out here. Good for Pete. This is not his first race of the year. He'd been out one time before.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see. I believe he's 80 or 81 years old, so if I'm that age and I could still do it, I am going to do it.
He's been racing in 7 different decades at this point in time. Has Pete Jensen. He's a great story. A couple of years back, he was a legend car? Is that what I remember?
A legend car. He's done many
Whoa.
stocks, and then he just got inducted into the Evergreen Speedway Pioneer Award this year as well. So,
Hall of Famer.
Yep. So great battle for that third position between the two youngsters. We'll see what can happen here in the next 6 laps or so. Hopefully they both can keep it.
Well, watching them sail the cars into turn number 3. Back half of this race been good as they look to put a lap on Jesse Shaw, who's running one of the JBR entries. Jesse, one of the queens of karting here in the Northwest, starting to get some stock car experience. Good for her. She will, once she gets her figured out, she will be fast. She is ultra, ultra competitive in a go-kart. Down the back straightaway they go, and to the inside, there's the move from Houck, and Houck now is into a transfer spot himself.
And now it looks like Pete Jensen might be in a transfer spot as well as something going on with Delfell. That lap prior, they made a little contact, 3-wide contact, something going on with the Delfell car. And now the oldest driver at Evergreen Speedway into 4th.
That a kid, Pete. Keep her going. It's Snyder and Somerville long out of the picture. Houck is 3rd in the 08. And then the lap car of Shaw, and then Pete Jensen, 521, sitting 4th.
That's fantastic. Hopefully he gets to keep that spot, and we'll see him in the A main. As it looks like single file all the way around, 3 laps to go. So it looks like the battle is now back to 5th.
Now the important thing here is that we have an oxygen bottle and some Metamucil waiting for Pete once he gets out of the race car.
Okay, good.
Maybe some Ovaltine.
Yeah.
Trying to think of all the old people stuff. Prune juice.
Prune juice.
Get him some prune juice. That's going to work Green.
Well, Diesel Snyder way out in front. Matt Somerville hasn't really gained any ground on him for the last 10 laps or so.
At this point in time, they're starting in a row right next to each other. They're not going to advance any further up the field. Bring it home, keep it in one piece. Learn maybe a little something about your race car, push it in different places, and see, okay, I can get through faster here. But at this point, just be safe. You're in good shape.
Yeah, and these guys don't have spotters. They have receivers like the sprint car guys do.
Yep.
So they're just looking in their mirrors. Diesel Snyder may not even have a mirror, so he might think Somerville might be right there with him.
Yep.
So it's very difficult to tell. When you don't have a spotter, you just look at the scoreboard to see who's behind you.
At least at that point, if he's got a rear view, he can see a white car in it a long ways away. So he should be feeling pretty secure as he comes through the final corner. Diesel Snyder wins the B feature. We should see him coming up later in the A main event. Matt Somerville, too. Bobby Hauck trending towards third. And, wow, wait for it. Wait for it. It's coming, I promise you. There you go. And Pete Jensen takes the fourth spot. We've got more action sprint car heat races coming up in the next segment here on Home Track Heroes. You're watching on Seattle 11. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11, already through an Interstate Batteries Hornet B main event. It is sprint car heat race time here on the show. He's Chad Fitzpatrick, two-time race winner on the year, and I am Caleb Hartz. Sprint cars, this is my bread and butter. We're ready to roll. Jay Dishnu, the Granite Super Sprints, heat race number 1 on the pole in the Newman Racing Machine. And next to him, Troy Glow, Brian's Auto Glass sponsors the 11.
The 8 of Cody Rich, sponsored by First Line Systems. 8A of Brad Euman, sponsored by Tom Turner and Island Race Masters.
Marty Rossler, the Gidlin Rossler Racing number 63. And Chase Sabato, the 19, sponsored by First Line Systems, Inc. Heat races 8 laps in distance. They are, well, for points, but really nothing else. No money, no starting position in the A main event. This is a chance to gather season championship points and basically feel out your race car as we go green.
Exactly. See what I've always used as another way of a practice session, and with points, as it looks like the 40 car. No, we don't even have a 40 car.
We
here.
do. It's Jay Dishnu.
Is that Jay Dishnu?
Yep, that is Dishnu
Oh
in the
my
40.
goodness.
Off to the early start. He is in Michael Newman's car, on the evening because the 8 car not up and functional. So
Gotcha.
going for the season championship and got to have a ride.
Yeah. It's kind of, for me, a little difficult to see the numbers, but at least you know where everyone's at.
It's funny, in sprint car racing, depending on your point of view, a lot of the times you're identifying the car based on paint scheme. They go so fast, and the numbers, even if you occupied a huge portion of that sideboard, you don't have a lot of time to actually read them across. So as we watch Troy Globe in the 11 and Brad Almond behind him in the 8A, your top 3 right now, and Dishnu has got a nice little run early.
Yeah, he's gone. I believe that third spot is Brad Euman trying to get to the 11 to Troy Globe. 4 down, 4 to go. These heat races will go pretty fast. We're probably running, high 13s, low 14s, second lap times?
I imagine that your average speed going around here at the rate that they're doing is 90 miles an hour plus at the moment, if not even a little bit higher. It really depends on how much they're scrubbing in the corners going through, because they've got all the power to weight ratio in the world to motor them down the straightaway. So as a lot of places, corner speed determines a lot. It's Dishnu, Globe, and Amon trying to run him down. A couple of car lengths in behind. We say it every time the sprint cars are on the program, but you're not going to see them following each other much. They're not going to trail each other nose to tail just because of the turbulence the top wings kick up. We say dirty air is what that is behind there. It makes it turbulent, makes your race car unhook and get very, very loose, as opposed to a late model, which are built for aerodynamics and actually have a draft that kicks up behind them.
Most definitely. Looks like Jay Dishnu will take home the first win of the night. There will be a second one coming up next here. So we got another 5-6 car heat race.
We have 5, but we understand here in pace laps, Todd Coleman's 44 encountered some mechanical issues, so he pulled off. So we'll go side by side for a couple of rows. The first row, Cameron Neisinger, the Granite Construction number 12. Next to him, that's Greg Middendorf in car number 4.
The 7D of Randy Dubois, sponsored by Geico, and the 57 Evan Margison, sponsored by Westlake Properties. Kind of looks like a trophy dash.
There you go. Margison, the man so fast he can race without seeing after the last time his nose wing flipped up on him and he still ended up winning the main event. So we'll go 4 cars and 8 lightning quick laps coming up here as we're underway once again.
So Neisinger to the early lead. The 4-car Middendorf doing a great job hanging on for second, as we are going to go yellow. Yellow flag is out.
We did not like the start, so that is coming back a second time here in what is a very loaded heat race. You know, we have seen all 4 of these drivers have bunches of success between race wins and track championships, as Randy Dubois is the reigning track title holder here in the Granite Super Sprints.
Gotcha. Yeah, so the racetrack always wants to have the 2 leaders up front be as evenly tight as possible, very equally matched cars, so whoever's ahead might be the difference of who's going to win and who's going to lose.
Indeed. We were talking about that before we came on the air tonight, is that you are looking for side-by-side initial starts here. So the field, side-by-side at the start.
And that looks pretty good.
Pretty close to even coming across the line. Neisinger gets the early advantage over Middendorf in the 4. Middendorf doing a better job of sticking with him this time.
Yeah, that was a definitely much better restart for Middendorf this last time, as he is not able to pull away. The 12 of Cameron Neisinger not able to pull away from Middendorf at this time.
So we're talking about the dirty air. If Middendorf continues to follow him in through turn 4 and we get that camera 1 shot, watch the nose wing in the front end on that car as he is in behind. Now he's a little bit farther back from Neisinger this time, so you wouldn't have seen the same effect, but you can literally see the nose wings on these cars, outside of the fact that they have a lot of power and they naturally are a little vibrating, shake when they're underneath that load of dirty air that comes off.
And from watching the King of the Wing, this is the last time they've been here, right? Was since the King of the Wing?
War of the Wings, yeah.
War of the Wings, sorry.
Yeah.
War of the Wings. I believe it was Martin Rossler had a problem with the top of his wing, and it was almost sending him up the track,
Yep.
and the front tires come off the ground. So I can't believe how much aerodynamics plays a factor in these vehicles
It's
here.
gigantic. Well, it's weird. You say aerodynamics. They're really aerodynamically terrible.
Yeah.
You think, look at all these wing foils and stuff like that. Well, they're not cutting through the air straight ahead efficiently. Where that aerodynamics is playing a big factor is through the middle of the corner, because it's adding side bite, letting them keep
I
that
see.
speed in through the turn. So going down the straightaway, they're doing very, very little. What's coming in is the air is catching on the top wing into the corner, providing downforce, and then the side bite is coming from the side panels of the wing. As soon as you come through, you've got air that's helping your car squat down and stay into the track, and you have air that's helping being caught basically inside there, keeping you in the lane that you're trying to run in.
I see. So we got, looks like half a lap to go, and Neisinger looks like he might have a heat race win here.
It looks like an easy one. Cameron Neisinger getting the W over Middendorf. Margison, and following them, wait for it, he's coming. It's Dubois eventually. Hey, it's
There we
Dubois. There we go. All right, let's blow into some main event action as our season championship about to be decided for the Interstate Batteries Hornet division. They're going 30 laps around, and a nice looking field of cars. Let's let you know who they all are. Tegan Bjornsson, the 59 is on the pole, sponsored by Misfit Motorsports. Next to Tegan, it's Mike Hawley in the 11, sponsored by Glen Eagle Golf Course.
The 024 is Donna Gillespie. Outside is the 28 Cody Cooey.
Row number 3, Hunter Jenkins, the Elite Construction Contractors car, number 85. And Jason Karenberg in the 2 starts 6th.
The 163 is Michael Duncan, sponsored by Misfit Motorsports. 19 is Scarlett Fisher, sponsored by North Sound Fence.
This is the 5th row. It's Tammy White in the 23 and Garrett Kramer in the 88, sponsored by Northwest Security and Sound.
The 8 car is Luke Heddle, and outside of Luke, the 03 is Lucas Hassenfleck, sponsored by Cornerstone Homes.
Matt Snyder drives car number 15. He's sponsored by Hair Inc. Next to Matt, it's the 17S of Gino Solomon, sponsored by Valley Asphalt.
The 77 of Christian Miller, sponsored by Turbo Expresso, and the 00 of Dan Miller, sponsored by Exterior Wall Systems, Inc.
Your reigning track champion, the 33 of Ryan Hausenfluck, sponsored by Cornerstone Homes. Outside of him, Brad Gruhl, the G2, is sponsored by Granite Falls Community Chiropractic.
The 81 car, Bobby Fisher, sponsored by North Sound Fence. And our current points leader, the 07 is Zach Bristol, sponsored by Gourmet Latte.
Final 3 are your move-ups from the B feature. Diesel Snyder, the 717, sponsored by Hair Inc. 21 of Matt Somerville, and the world's oldest living Hornet driver, Pete Jensen, from the Jurassic era in 521.
So looks like we're going to go green this time by, and the 11 car, Mike Hawley, will grab the lead as they go into turn number 1.
Nice move by Mike. Now watch following him. Is that the 28 of Cody Cooey that's already made his way up there?
I believe so, and I think he's driving a borrowed car. Normally, I believe we see Ethan Payne in that vehicle.
You do.
And it looks like, we got a little bit of contact going through 3 and 4. 4 wide.
Oh, commentators curse Cody Cooey. Last time he was out, he was in Victory Lane in the Pro 4 trucks, and now he's checking out the tires.
They're still there, Cody.
Good tires. That worked. Down the back straightaway we roll. Holly leads. Bjornsson second. And Karenberg, 2-car, hanging on to third, at least for now.
Believe so, and we got a battle for the lead now of Bjornsson going to the inside of the 11-car Mike Hawley, side by side through 3 and 4, and give the lead to Bjornsson.
All right, Tegan Bjornsson moving into the top spot. Division has had a lot of different winners this year. We've had some drivers emerge and show out very well. As this lead about to change hands again, Hawley to the inside, Bjornsson outside. Now Bjornsson got a good run off the top of 2, but needs to get down racetrack. And Hawley doesn't look like speed carries all the way to the end of the straightaway there.
No, he has very good speed coming off, but yeah, maybe a little underpower down the back straightaway there. As we'll watch and see, maybe he'll have the same issue this next lap as he's hanging on for dear life for second, and it looks like Duncan trying to get into our top 5 there.
Duncan making a strong move, trying to work to the inside. Donna Gillespie was all over the back of Karenberg, and now Karenberg going to shoot to the inside of the 11 of Hawley. Second place up for grabs. Give it, at least for the time being, to Karenberg.
Yeah, and looks like Michael Duncan moving into 4th, trying to get in that final podium position there, as we'll watch and see what happens. I've started to notice we get to see what the strong cars are like down the back stretch.
Yes, absolutely. Corner speed through the intersection has been very even across the board, as Gillespie trying to roll to the inside, but it's how far they're shooting into turn number 3 that's seeming to make the biggest difference in terms of track positioning.
Michael Duncan was a rocket ship going down the backstretch. He will get in that final podium spot. Hopefully he can gain maybe 2 more and maybe end the season with a win, as our current points leader, Zach Bristol, slowly making his way through. He was mired back in the field.
It's the methodical march coming here from Bristol, trying to work his way forward and secure this track title. You're looking at the 19 of Scarlett Fisher trying to hang on to position and racing in behind her.
Out clean and clear out front is Bjornsson with about a 8-car length lead over Karenberg and Duncan, as that is a side-by-side battle for second, as the whole rest of the field trying to make it through. Everyone's been pretty good so far, and give Duncan second.
Well, what would you think? You would think Bjornsson a good bet at the moment?
I think so, but Duncan is moving fast, though, too.
Well,
so watch and see what happens.
Whoever you'd want to bet on, Angel of the Winds Casino Resort now has sports betting. Think you can pick a winner? Prove it at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, the only home for sports betting north of Seattle. Exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington.
Well, if we're betting, I'm going to put $10 on Duncan.
I'm cheap, so I'm not betting. At least with you, because you're probably going to win. You're a 2-time feature winner on the year.
No.
Oh, Christian Miller. That is not what you want to see.
No.
As he goes smash to somebody with him in the intersection. I didn't catch the second car involved in that, but Christian Miller goes smack right into somebody and folds up the hood on that car.
Oh, that was a hard hit, and Duncan moving in quick. Down to a car length now, as Bjornsson in trouble. Whatever he has left up in his sleeve, he's got to use it now.
There is some smoke showing off the 163 of Duncan. We'll continue to monitor that as he tries to run around the mid-portion of the racetrack. Bjornsson now knows Duncan is there and goes on to defense mode as they go through the weight transfer section. It is Bjornsson in the 59 with the shark teeth and Michael Duncan in the 163. Your battle for the top spot here in the Interstate Battery Hornet main.
Duncan looking to the inside. Didn't get quite a good run like he did the last lap, as Bjornsson doing a great job hanging on to that lead. Not blocking, he's just making it a little harder for him. Not a deliberate block, no, nothing like that. Very clean running up front.
Well, you know there is a very distinct difference between a racing line and a passing line here. You can go as fast as you want in your racing line, but when it comes to passing, often there's going to be another car in that same fast portion of the racetrack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and right now, his racing line seems to be working for him, as Duncan looking to the inside. Didn't throw it in there like he did the lap before. Duncan get a little bit loose, but Bjornsson opens up the door, and they're side-by-side for the lead.
Bjornsson opened up the bottom off of that corner just enough, but pulls back ahead, coming in through the intersection. Can Tegan hang on? Duncan in the 163 had the better run last time. Tegan going to angle the car off a little bit lower coming out of 2 to try to play some more defense and make Duncan go around the middle.
And it looks like Michael's going to have to go to the outside, making him work for it. He's starting to stick up there. We'll watch and see what happens here. But oh, that was a good run that time. Oh, a little bit of contact, and Bjornsson stays the leader.
That's brake smoke coming off of Bjornsson, but Bjornsson off the corner a little too hard. And there down the back straightaway, Duncan's going to take the lead as he heads into turn number 3. So we are 12 laps into this, 18 to go. Michael Duncan is just taking the lead, and we will finish the Interstate Batteries Hornets A main event next here on Home Track Heroes. Back to action here on Home Track Heroes, where it is Michael Duncan, your race leader, Tegan Bjornsson, and Jason Karenberg in the third position. Glad to have you in with us as rolling through and putting laps away. Your segment here on Home Track Heroes brought to you by Bardall Manufacturing, located in Seattle, world leader in automotive lubricants with oils, additives, and lubricants for your car, truck, boat, or motorized toy. Pick the brand racers around the world rely on. Bardall, celebrating over 82 years in business and operating in 90 countries, make Bardall your brand.
So back up front, the three drivers that are on the move, the 15 of Matt Snyder, the 81 of Bobby Fischer, the 33 of Hassenflock, and Zach Bristol, our current points leader. They have started mired back in the field, and they're cracking into the top 5 right now.
So this is important for Bristol. If Bristol finishes 14th or better, he is guaranteed your top spot. Look out, Karenberg's around. Contact with Hassenflock as the front bumper cover on the 33 is coming off, and then he goes driving into the grass for a second.
That's a little too close for comfort if I'm Zach Bristol.
For sure. So 15th or better, Bristol wins. Say 14th, obviously. Bobby Fischer needs to win by 15 positions if he is going to get that.
Yes.
If he's going to get second. This would be Zach Bristol's first track championship. Weird to think about.
If he can pull it off, this would be an absolutely fantastic thing for his racing career. He has been racing out here since, I believe, 2008.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a fantastic event for him if he can do this.
A lot of laps, a lot of different cars, and he's been competitive in just about every division he's ever driven in.
Yes.
And just to think that this would be the first track title, that is something else for him.
He has raced, he's raced Hornets, he's raced street stocks, mini stocks, Stinger 8s, all sorts of stuff.
So title time, maybe. He's got to keep her going right now as the guy who's chasing him is the 81 of Bobby Fischer, and Fischer is just one car ahead of him right now. Bristol knows you stick with Bobby, and you're going to win the title fairly easily.
If I'm Zach, you don't really want to take any big chances, because there is still that small possibility it can happen where he can get in a wreck.
Yep.
And you just keep Bobby right there. Don't even need to pass him. Just stay right where he's at, and you'll be fine, as I believe that was the pass for 4th for Zach Bristol.
Yep, so Bristol well up at the front of the pack, and again, it's just bring her home mode for him. So we're down to 11 laps to go. His primary competition's right ahead of him in Bobby Fischer. Fischer digging from the back of the pack. He's run to 3rd, and if you're Bobby, the only thing you can control is the thing you control. Get as far up in the field as you possibly can be.
And that's what he's doing right now. But Zach Bristol definitely going to make it hard for him. And I think right now Zach may be the faster car, but he's just going to be a little bit on the cautious side, so he can hopefully get his first title here.
Oh, for sure. Conservative is the name of the game here for Bristol. As you see, he is half a car length in behind Bobby Fischer. That's Brad Gruhl. He's had a really good second half of this season. He's found a lot of speed in the white and green G2. Behind him battling for position. A couple of cars. I want to say one of them's Bjornsson, who after leading early is unfortunately on the way backwards. The other car up there is the 03 of Lucas Hassenflock.
Now, I believe one of those two made their mini stock debut last week.
Ryan Hassenflock did,
okay.
actually. So, yeah, Dad actually jumped up and grabbed a mini stock for the first time.
I believe he finished 5th, too.
Had a good night. Hopefully we get to see a lot more of that in the coming years.
And one thing that'll be nice to see is every year we see quite a few of the Hornet drivers move up to different divisions.
Yep.
So it'll be nice to see what we have for next year on the higher divisions.
It is designed to be a feeder division, that is for sure, although it does have a number of awesome races in it. Amongst those, what you'll see here on Home Track Heroes next week, Hornet Nationals are coming up. So all the drivers, yes, competing to try to win tonight, but they want to keep their cars in good running order for their big show.
Yeah, that's a big one. 50 laps for them. You know, most of these guys don't run for money. It looks like we got
look out.
Donna Gillespie sitting right in the line of fire there. Not a good spot.
Does Bristol make it around? He does. That was the most important thing right there. So everybody clearing Gillespie. And let's get a second look from the replay. Locks up the brakes big time. Tries to get around the corner and just doesn't.
Yep, just didn't make that corner very well. Something obviously happened because there was smoke. And
yeah, it was locking it up for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't normally see smoke just by accident. It happens. All right, so quad boxing with the look. Big thank you to Brandy Hood Promotions. Brandy for the awesome in-car shots every week here on Home Track Heroes. Bristol, your points leader. He's in the upper left-hand corner. Brad Gruhl outside row number 3 here on the restart. T.K. Bjornsson, and then the full field as we're green.
Michael Duncan will grab the lead. That is the 28 of, that would be Cole Cooey or Cody Cooey, but I believe he is a couple laps down at this point. They will keep the lap cars kind of blended in. They don't put them to the back in the Hornet division. Matt Snyder hanging tough in second. Bobby Fischer moving into the third, and that is the 02 or G2 of Brad Gruhl in fourth.
So Gruhl, the good run on the restart, picking off a couple of cars, and he's up there competing for the lead, potentially the win, depending on how much more progress he can make. You see him trailing around Bobby Fischer and swinging out to the outside of him through the corner, although Cody Cooey going to be right in his path, and he'll have to duck underneath him and fall on the line for a second.
We got Brad Gruhl in between Bobby Fischer and the 07 of Zach Bristol still. He's got a good point lead right now. No need to panic. 7 laps to go. 6 this time by.
It's been a really nice race here for Michael Duncan out in front of this field, and Matt Snyder, who was our most recent feature winner in the wet weather race that we had from a little ways back, sits in position 2. It's been a good couple of weeks for Matt Snyder as the 15 car's finding some speed.
As it looks like the 15, yeah, Snyder might be pulling in a little bit on the 163 of Duncan. We'll just have to see. 5 more laps to go. We'll watch and see what happens here. And Brad Gruhl trying to get that final podium spot from the 81 of Bobby Fischer.
You really see him slinging that car around the corners, not afraid to swim the back end a little bit if he has to. As there's Gruhl closing in on Fischer. Meanwhile, still a lot of cars side by side back in the pack, but this is the fight for the final podium spot, and Gruhl's got a nice run underneath Fischer coming off the turn.
Yeah, as they go down through the start-finish line, 4 laps to go. Fischer with a great run through the figure 8 track right here. We'll watch and see if maybe Gruhl can do something as they go on to the 3/8, and that was another good corner for Fischer. Opens up that lead over about maybe half a car length, but Gruhl goes really well going into 3.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of straightaway speed to spare. Now he just has to find the lane to force Fischer out of his preferred race line. Has 3 more circuits around to figure it out. Fischer's still doing a good job getting through the intersection and coming off the corner, but Gruhl maintains his speed in through there as well, and will make another run up on him here on the back.
While those two are battling, Zach Bristol has the best seat in the house for that. He's just thinking, all right, you two just have at it. He could taste the champagne. It's so close.
He's being smart about it, too. You don't want to be right back up on those cars ahead of you. You want to give them just enough gaps so you have time to respond.
Oh, yeah, especially right now. Zach is probably now about maybe 28 points behind Fischer.
Right.
So he goes, just let 5th place will probably feel so good for him.
Yes, it will. Well, it's like driving on I-5, right? They teach you on the freeway, give cars ahead of you 2 seconds, right? You got a 2 count in your head before the marker that the car hits. You've got enough time to react and get around. Hopefully nothing happens within our top 5. We do have a battle for the lead, though, as Snyder is up on Duncan, and this is the final lap.
Yeah, Michael Duncan looking to maybe, I don't know if he can pull this off, if this will be his first win or not. We'll watch and see what happens off turn number 4. Michael Duncan, your winner.
Slung it way wide, but ends up coming through and getting the job done. Duncan wins the battle. The war goes to Bristol, your track champion in the Interstate Batteries Hornets. And let's talk to all of them on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Well, this 3rd place finish will cap off what will end up being a 2nd place season in points. You had a good run all year long, driving that 81 car through many fields, up to many podiums. What was it like?
It's been a rush. Get wrapped up in points, and you drive hard, and you just stick with it every week, and you got bad days and good days. It's tough to stay with it. I've got a lot of people that help me through this, and I'll get to them eventually here, but it's fun. Congratulations, Zach, for winning. It was tough. I really wanted to be there with him, but he was too far ahead. And Ryan, congratulations for 3rd. It was a good, fun race, great season. Congratulations to all the racers out there. It's been really fun.
Now, do you have any different plans next year?
Yes, this is my final season as a Hornet. I'm going to move up to mini stock.
Should be interesting to see you and Ryan both. Who would you like to thank for this season?
I want to thank North Sound Fence, Lund Orthodontics, LDP, Central Welding, all my family, my friends, everyone who helps me in the pit, the fans. It's so fun to be out here. I get to share this with my daughter, and it's amazing.
Driver of the number 81, third place tonight, Bobby Fisher. All right, Matt, you ran a very good race working your way through the field. In the end, just a little short from the 163. What more do you think you needed?
Faster car because I couldn't catch him. He was way gone. He was in Mars. I wasn't catching him.
Now, the Hornet class runs a variety of different courses out here. How do you like this standard road course?
Oh, I like it. I just wish we'd run the 3/8s. Let us run on that once or twice maybe. But yeah, this is a fun track. It always has been.
You got anyone you'd like to thank for your performance tonight?
Yeah, Valley Asphalt, Snowfalls Credit Union, the Teen Shop, Handy in the Valley, SC, Hair Inc., and my family that's here. My grandparents are here, and everyone in the pits.
Driver of the number 15, Matt Snyder, second place tonight. Well, I'd say that's not bad. Step into the 163 for a day, come away with the win. What's it like to do that?
Definitely an honor to be able to race with these guys, because if it wasn't for running this course, I would have never been able to keep up with them. But the running the 163, it's a fast car. I know the car well. I'm just glad it performed well.
Now, it kind of leads into my next question. Obviously, you enjoy running that road course. How's it stack up versus some of the other ones?
Definitely one of my favorites. I agree with Matt saying that the 3/8 oval is underrun, but the standard road course is definitely where that car particularly shines.
And who would you like to thank for this victory tonight?
GDX Garage Doors is number one with Olympic Embroidery, as well as our YouTube channel, which is Misfit Motorsports. All of our in-car footage, everything is on there.
Driver of the number 163, Michael Duncan, winner tonight.
No, not yet, not yet.
I had too much of that. Years past.
It's been a while, I can finally do it.
You've raced pretty much everything out here at Evergreen Speedway. Step into a Hornet, that 07 car, all season long. You get the result, and now you get the title. What is that like?
If anybody doesn't know, I've been running Hornets for 15 years. This is the first championship in my whole family. That's why everybody's up here. We flew a lot of the family in to enjoy this. Oh my goodness, it's like weight off the shoulder. I dreamed as a kid. I grew up in those grandstands, like just be able to race on this track. Watch my dad, my grandpa, uncle, my sisters, my whole family. Never dreamed I'd be up here holding the champagne bottle, holding that. It's a dream come true.
It's been a long year. You've raced in the mini stocks as well. Come back to the Hornet course. Run this bread and butter, I'd say, for you. Top 5 championship, it's all you needed.
Yeah, thankfully it was. We put a good enough buffer on it for the last race of the year to where it was fun getting a run with Bobby and Ryan. I've had such a blast running with those guys all year long. Clean, good, hard running racers. But yeah, just kind of, it was weird to be able to kind of take my time, didn't have to push it, new situation we were in, and made it work, and just didn't want to cut a tire. That was my only worry. Just don't have any issues, and we pulled through.
Now you've conquered the Hornet class. Looking ahead to anything else next year?
Let's see. Mini stock I want to get back into. But there is one thing, there's only one other guy who's done back-to-back in Hornets. I would like to win it. Whoops. I was waiting for you to do that. But yeah, I want to run Hornets again next year, whatnot. See if I can go back to back and then move up to minis full time. But we'll see. I love the Hornet class. It's such a fun class. All these kids that grew up and I get to race against, all the generations I get to run against. It's so fun to be in this class. So I guess we'll see what 24 brings me.
Well, obviously you have a little bit of support. Who would you like to thank for making this title possible?
Let's see here. Tommy, raise your hand. Candy, you too. So that's Tommy's car. He put a killer offer for me when I was looking around for a Hornet car and he sold it. Hornet Nest Racing, they made sure I did not lose this championship. They took care of me the last couple months. My whole family, huge supporters. Jenny, this is for Beaners. We lost him. He wanted to be here to watch, but I know he's watching from above. Gigi Ma, she's also watching. and just the whole racing family that we have here. It's, God, this is, like I said, dream come true. Can't believe we're here.
Storybook ending to the season. Driver of the 07, Zach Bristol, your Hornet champion.
We move on here on Home Track Heroes as we head to the figure 8 course for the first time. Here today, it's time for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s on Home Track Heroes. He is Chad Fitzpatrick, winner of 2 late model mains this year. I am Caleb Hart. And your field for this 30-lapper to determine the track championship. Well, kind of determine the track championship. We'll tell you more about that in a second. Harrison Hardwick on the pole in the 19. Calvin Miller next to him, the 49, sponsored by Precision Forestry, Inc. of Arlington.
And looks like the 11 of Kyle Shukar, sponsored by Be Happy Carpet Cleaning, and the 43 of Sheridan Vincent, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment.
Row number 3 is supposed to be the 72 of Jeff Talbert, but looking visually at the lineup, Talbert's actually inside row number 2. Talbert sponsored by Pilchuck Heating. Next to him supposed to be Doug Delfell 01. Is Doug there? No, Doug's back a little ways. Delfell sponsored by Mazda of Everett.
So it looks like that will be the V8 of Bill Fleischhacker, sponsored by Papa's Tavern, and that will be the JE55 of Jessica Wilkinson.
Okay, your next run of cars, Jim Mackey's 23, Tony V's Garage Saloon and Eatery. The 66 of Rick Jones, sponsored by Winter's Speed Shop of Burien.
And the 58 of Chuck Wittes, and the 76S of Chris Southard.
Then RJ Mackey, the 69, Papa Zen Monroe. 63, Robert Weldon, All Play Roofing LLC. Car at the back is the 5, and that's Mackenzie Dietz. Dietz in the 5 car, BECU and Mary's towing on that car, and this is part of the championship chase that we were telling you about. As we are green here on this race, and they're off and rolling around, your early leader looks to be the 69 of, not the 69, 19 of Hardwick, out there with everybody chasing him.
Yeah, Hardwick being chased down by 14 other drivers, as the 49 of Calvin Miller, we haven't seen him out in a couple weeks since, I believe he won the Stingray Nationals, and we haven't seen him since then with the Superstock figure 8, but he is doing great in second. And the 72 of Jeff Talbert, who is in a good points battle between Mackenzie Dietz, who is driving the 5 car tonight, and he is looking to hopefully gain another spot.
Yep, so you're missing one very familiar car. The red 67 of Mackenzie Dietz is not in the field. Look out, Hardwick. Hello, Tire. Nice to see you again. You Tire Wave says hello. On the dirt, we call those reed magnets. You wouldn't get that joke, but the my dirt people who are watching are going to laugh right now. As we are staying green. 3 laps in, 27 to go, and puts the rest of this field in a dangerous spot because Calvin Miller in the lead is a recipe for a runaway.
Oh, yeah. He is definitely a very good figure 8 driver. Calvin Miller, one of the youngest drivers in the field, driving one of the oldest cars. But it is definitely clean and clear for Calvin Miller, as the 19 car of Harrison Hardwick should probably not be any issue for Miller.
You would think not. I mean, he just ran into a tire, but we never know. So you're missing the red 67 of Mackenzie Dietz. She had some problems earlier on in the day. The blue 5, which is normally John Carlson's car, your points leader, John's got the title wrapped up. So mathematically, he didn't even have to run this main event to wrap the title up. So graciously loans the car to Mackenzie to run this main event so she can try to hold on to second in points. However, it's going to be a big ask right now because she's near the back, and your nearest competitor, Jeff Talbert, is sitting in second place right now.
Yeah, that is definitely not what Mackenzie Dietz wants to see right now. That is a very nice thing that the Cowboy John Carlson did for Mackenzie, so very, very thankful for that, as Jeff Talbert having a great run. The top 8 is having a very great run right now, as they're all single file, but put on a very good show.
It's a really good battle with a lot of action, especially since they're having to get around Hardwick to navigate through. It is Miller leading, Talbert in close pursuit, and Kyle Shukar in the 11 car, who we've seen a lot of Stingray action, but not so much in the V8s this year. He is running a solid 3rd.
Yeah, we don't see him very much in the V8 car. I believe he picked up a win in the Stinger 8s this year. He's been talking about maybe going into retirement, but I don't believe that at all.
Not for a second.
No.
So Shukar, who is driving, that is Kenny Shukar owned car, so obviously family deal there. Normally driven by Blaine Manning here in the
And we got traffic in the intersection. We had the 69 spinning to miss, and the 76 of Chris Southard having to stop. We'll see if he got it going. Oh, and we got 63 of Weldon, and we all know he doesn't stop.
No, Weldon has been an intersection magnet this year. It's been awesome to see. It's allowed Miller to stretch it out over Talbert a little bit, and has given Shukar opportunity, who lays a serious love tap on the back of Talbert 72. But Jeff hangs on, and he's got the second spot.
Yeah, this will be definitely interesting for Jeff. If he has to slow down to miss the 63 of Weldon, he may not have a chance to. They were running so close together. Sheridan Vincent sitting great in fourth. The Grizz, Doug Delfell, 49 years. He's been talking about hanging it up, but I don't think he's going to. You're so close to 49, you hit 50. Grizz, you got to do it.
That's right. Isn't that the diamond anniversary or something like that? I don't know. I'm not married anymore, so I quit counting. Around the corner they go. Grizz with a nice top 5. Just had a top 3 here recently, too. So he's been putting together some
2 of them in a row.
Yes. So he sits in 5th in the car, the yellow machine amongst the black and white cars all in this line. As Talbert going to go way wide to try to get in and around here. He's got the benefit of a couple of slower cars in between him. In that he's got to get around Hardwick, and he has Southard's car there. Oh, there's Mackenzie Dietz facing the wrong way.
Oh, definitely not a good thing for her, as Calvin Miller's lead growing quite phenomenally right now, as it's about 8 car lengths. The car in between them, Harrison Hardwick, about 2 or 3 laps down at this point. As a great battle for fourth, Grizz Doug Delfell in the 43 of Sheridan Vincent. They had a similar battle their last Superstock Figure 8 race, but that was for the podium position.
Well, they're trying to get up to the point where they might be able to get to the podium, as Talbert again had to fight his way around Hardwick. Hardwick gets out of the way, allows Shukar to be right up on him. That's a dynamic battle for second place behind your leader Calvin Miller in the 49. As he rolls around, Talbert and Shukar racing each other hard. Hopefully, coming up here at the end, they'll be able to crack themselves a nice Busch beer together, right?
Yeah. This will be definitely a good battle shaping up still between the top 3.
As they continue to make their way around, we are over halfway, 16 down, 17 down, now 13 to go between your second and third place cars, having a whale of a battle here in Home Track Heroes.
And I think right now, Calvin Miller probably wants to see that white flag come out. He only has 12 short more laps this time by.
You know, the fender and the hood on the left front of that car is bobbling a little bit. Do you see that on the 11?
I see that a little bit. I don't know if that's going to be any issue to him. That's fiberglass, so it's probably going to rub holes in the fiberglass itself before it puts any holes in the tire.
You're not worried about that being some kind of suspension part that's coming loose and, like, knocked one of those things cattywampus?
It could be, but the hard part is how, a lot of these bodies are mounted on for the hoods.
Yep.
Is it's the hood and the fenders put together in one big piece. So they kind of just flop around to begin with.
So you lose a rivet or two, and that thing can easily come flying apart.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, yeah, most of them are built like that. We got all sorts of
Whoa.
traffic in the intersection.
Double whoa. Look out, as it got intense through there, but somehow everybody survived. Your leader, Calvin Miller, now coming up on both the 69 and the 63, as we're going to get a caution flag.
Looks like we got the 55, JE 55 of Jessica Wilkinson. Not having the best year so far.
And it was Mackenzie
Oh,
Dietz's 5.
my.
Wow, weave in and through, and you can see the chaos that was happening. Over to the left, look out, in and around, and then Jess loops or Southard got a little piece of it. From Jess's in-car video, let's see how it went down.
Now looking clean right here. The car's looking a little bit loose going through the south turn. Little up high. And this is where all the drama starts right here. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. Okay, Southard comes down and through. Yeah, it was a 23 car from out of nowhere that ended up being a problem on that one. So
I don't think that's going to be much of a hindrance for Jessica. She hit that tire pretty square. So I don't think that's going to – might have put a little bit of bumper damage on the car, but I don't think any suspension at this point.
At the same time, we saw Mackenzie spun out on the inside there as well, and that's going to set her at the back of the pack again. So her quest to take second is getting tougher and tougher. We'll go back to green. Your race leader continues to be Calvin Miller. Behind him, it was Kyle Shukar and Jeff Talbert going at each other for second, and Talbert's got the edge coming off the corner. Vincent trying to get to the outside of Shukar for third here into the North Pole, but can't make the pass.
Yeah, it looks like Grizz trying to get into fourth now. He will get past the 43 of Vincent for that fourth position to see if he can maybe get one more spot, get around Kyle Shukar and take home a trophy tonight.
Well, your podium has stayed fairly stagnant here as we race thanks to the sponsorship of Busch Beer, the official beer of NASCAR and Evergreen Speedway. Busch Beer, the sound of refreshment, crisp and cold as a mountain stream. Keep your fridge happy by stocking it with Busch. And Busch Light, Busch.
Side by side for fourth between Sheridan Vincent and still the Grizz Doug Delfell. Doug Delfell's age, along with the amount of years that he's been racing, doesn't even come close to Sheridan Vincent's age. So definitely the Grizz, the oldest one in the field, as we got a spin V8 of Bill Fleischhacker going around.
Can Fleischhacker getting fired back up? He can, so the V8 continues. Your top three have broken away from the rest of the pack. And Fleischhacker getting fired back up. We might see some intersection coming on sooner rather than later.
I think you're right. 6 laps to go as the 72 of Talbert hanging tough with the 49 of Miller. Miller not able to have a good run like he did before that last caution. And I don't know if he's maybe hanging back or not, but Talbert definitely could maybe get one more spot here.
Do you think it's a situation of Miller getting weaker or maybe Talbert getting stronger here as this race progresses?
You know, it's really tough to say because they're right now, as we speak, they're very even. So, maybe
a little bit of both?
It might be a little bit of both. Calvin's car may just have very good long run speed, not short run speed, and might be the opposite for Talbert as we are with 4 laps to go now.
So Talbert, who is looking for second place here in the season point standings, he picked up his first feature win early on in the season, putting some pressure on Calvin Miller in the very late stages. 3 laps left to go as they're going to cross around the white stripe this time by.
Yeah, Miller looking for his first Superstock Figure 8 win, I believe. I don't think he got one last year. I know he got second. So I'm wrong. He does have one. So he's looking for his second one. As we got.
Oh, looking for one.
Looking for one.
All
okay.
right. So if Miller can get this, that'd be a heck of a way for him to end out his season before 60 Minutes of Fear coming up on next week's Home Track Heroes show.
Yeah, that definitely will. He won the Stinger 8 Figure 8 Nationals, and he has won multiple Stinger 8 races throughout his career. So yes, this will, if he can get this one done, this will be his first V8 Figure 8 win.
All right, we're coming around to 1 to go. Doug Delfell sticking his nose in on Shukar here in the late stages as he's looking for 3rd straight podium run. But we watch your leader making the right-hand corner for the last time around here in this main event. It is Calvin Miller through the intersection clean and around to the checkered flag. Miller will get the W for second in season championship. Jeff Talbert, nice job as Kyle Shukar loops it at the end himself. Let's go down. We'll talk to your champion and your podium right now.
Well, Kyle stepped behind the number 11 car once again and got some results. You've proven to be quite the wheelman behind that machine here in the Superstock Figure 8 class. Consider going full-time maybe next year?
Yeah, definitely.
You had quite the race there, running in and out with Jeff Talbert. Walk us through those final few laps.
I was just trying to stay pace with the 2, and then I tried at the last lap, and I drove him hard, but I tried not to drive him dirty. And then when we got side by side, I just said, I backed off a little bit, and I just started pushing him in the north corner, and then just took 3rd.
3rd place is respectable. Who would you like to thank for that?
PTTC Concrete, Winston Auto Repair, Be Happy Carpet Cleaning, GN Northwest, my Uncle Bob, B&R Drywall, my dad for letting me the car, and Blaine for letting me fill in for him.
Driver of the number 11, Kyle Shukar, finishes 3rd tonight. Consistency has been your method all season long. That 72 has finished, I believe, every race in the top 5. I might be incorrect. All but one, you say. That 72 car has been in the top 5. You've done fantastic this season. What has it been like from your perspective?
Again, consistency. It's just making sure you hit everything, you do everything right. You talk to the people that if you have questions and you listen to the right people, then they get you there.
How confident are you to take a shot for the title next year?
I mean, I'll compete as much as I can, and we'll see where we can be at that. It's hard. John's real fast. That 5 car, it's good. So we'll do everything we possibly can to compete.
And who would you like to thank for your performance tonight and this season?
First, I got to thank my wife, all my kids, grandkids, friends, Pilchuck Heating, Stephanie's Hope, my grandma, my mom, my brother. Pretty much anybody and everybody that had a hand in this is good for them. the Wilkinsons, they're huge, and Jim and Jessica Powers, they're solid all the way around.
Driver of the number 72, that's Jeff Talbert, second place tonight. Not necessarily your first win on the figure eight, but your first behind the wheel of a Superstock figure eight. How does that feel?
We waited a really long time, put a lot of time into the car for this to happen, and I can't thank my dad and Cox Wheels Racing, Dawson Cox, and Steve Cox enough for helping get the car on the track, and it was a really good and fun race.
That 49 car has seen speed every time it's out here on the track. You looking forward to try and make it 2 for 2 in the Stingers tonight?
Yeah, we'll see what happens, I guess. I got to go do another 30 laps, so I'm already sweating, but it'll be fun.
And who would you like to thank for your performance this season?
Northwest Poly Services, my mom and dad, Cox Wheels Racing, Brandy Hood Promotions, Precision Forestry, and everybody else helps me get the car on the track.
Driver of the number 49, Calvin Miller, race winner. An incredible season for you in the number 5 car. You came in early, wheeled that 5 to a couple of good races, and from there you took off. What was that like?
It's a lot of fun running that car. It works really good. It's a well-built car. You know, what can I say? You just get in it and drive it, and it almost drives itself, it seems like.
Is there a possibility of maybe running both Outlaws and Superstock figure eights again next year?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it because I've been saying for Quentin to drive the car all year next year, so I don't know. We're always talking about things, so I'll just wait and see what happens next year.
You got the title here. You get ready to head out to the Outlaw Main here in just a little while, I suppose. How confident are you feeling heading into that?
Couldn't hear you.
How confident are you feeling heading into the Outlaw Main?
Well, after the way the heat race went, Ricky's pretty well got it wrapped up for the championship, so it's just running and trying to get a good finish, maybe get a win tonight.
And of course, who would you like to thank for this season and this race?
Mary here with Mary's Towing. Chris brings the car out and everything, and I just kind of drive it and help work on it a little bit, so maybe Mary might have a couple of people she wants to throw out.
Yes, I would. Right next to me, I have Joyce. She's been a great supporter throughout this whole season. And then there's Chris Calder, who has been amazing, has been working on the car, and along with John. So I'm so proud of everybody. Really, really proud of John for getting through the season and filling in for Quentin when he wasn't able to. So congratulations, John.
Driver of the number 5, the Cowboy, John Carlson, your Superstock figure eight champion.
Back we are here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. It's time for the Buzz In Stinger 8 main event. The championship is sewn up. The cars are on the track. Let's let you know who they are. I am Caleb Hart. He is two-time feature winner on the year, Chad Fitzpatrick. And your pole sitter is Donna Gillespie, the 024. Next to her, it's Charlie Davis in the 78KC.
The 13 card, Tyler Draper from Utah. Great to see him back out here. And the double duty, car number 21 of Matt Somerville.
Row number 3, also double duty for Lucas Hausenfluck in the 03. Next to him, Randy Moffitt, the 102, sponsored by B&R Drywall.
The 46 of Mike Hathaway, sponsored by Rep Welding and Rail. And the 85 of Hunter Jenkins.
Row number 5, Riley Rudell's 20, the DL Enterprises car. Jackson Beckles 18J, the JBR Racing Machine.
The 16 of Paint Hop, sponsored by Papa's in Monroe. And the 19 of Bryce Kohler, sponsored by Ray's Espresso in Machias, Washington.
7th row, Andrew Renders, the 40, Whidbey Donut sponsors him. Calvin Miller, who you just saw win the Superstock figure 8 races in the 49, sponsored by Precision Forestry Inc. of Arlington.
The 830 of Josh Beckel and the 151 of Cody Weldon, sponsored by Alpine Roofing. And rounding out our field, the 07, our defending Hornet champion, Zach Bristol, sponsored by PMS Powered Decals.
So a lot of names here that you're familiar with. Jackson Beckel, thanks to qualifying in heat races tonight, has locked up the track championship. He was outside row number 5. Congratulations to Jackson. So we're underway, and we're going to find out who's going to walk home with the final Stinger 8 trophy of our regular season.
Yes, they have one more. I believe it's their 30 minutes, part of the 60 minutes in general.
Right.
So, or 90 minutes, I should say.
It's the half an hour of,
of the 60
right.
minutes.
Right, yeah. It can't be 60 minutes of fear. It's 30 minutes of, trepidation.
Yes. Out front, the 21 of Matt Somerville. He is a defending Stingray champion, I believe, in 2016. And then the 78 car, we saw him in a street stock the last time out here. That is Charlie Davis.
A couple of veterans getting after it between Moffitt and Davis as Davis shuffles back into third, at least for the time being. In second, Moffitt now, and Donna Gillespie trying to make some hay up around the long way around here in the right-hand turn portion of it. Your champion, Jackson Beckel, already working his way forward in the field.
Yeah, and he's going to go for it. He already knows he's going to win the championship. Might as well go for the win as well, as Charlie Davis hanging tough for that third position. That is, in fact, my old Hornet car.
Okay.
Yes, that was one of my old Hornet cars.
Okay.
And the people who built it used to race with Charlie Davis when the division was called the NASCAR Bomber Division. So it's kind of funny how it all played out.
Hornets used to be called Bombers?
No, they were just, this car was built by 3 different Bomber
people.
drivers.
Okay.
In Charlie Davis's first era of street stock racing.
Gotcha. All right, I follow now. Interesting watching the nose of that car. Like, he's got a ton of front brake in that thing. Did you see how that thing dove?
Yes, though that style Prelude is pretty heavy in general. So you're going to see it kind of roll over quite a bit as Tyler Draper driving Zach Bristol's Hornet car. That's probably one of the oldest Hornet cars out here.
Wow.
Yeah, probably dating back. Oh, my.
Look out.
Way
to straighten her out.
Yep, as he keeps going. As Donna Gillespie, we saw, I guess that was in the Hornet main event, had some issues, obviously got fixed.
Right, all right. 46 Mike Hathaway feeling froggy. He'll jump forward a position, and behind him, Bryce Kolar in the 19, trying to pick up a spot or two as well as right now. All Somerville, but Somerville having to take it really easy, and we got a new leader now. Jackson Beckel, right place, right time.
I was going to say Matt Somerville tends to not stop in the intersection, and he didn't, and we are going to go yellow. It looks like that is the 40 of Reinders was an issue. Not sitting in a great spot there. Pretty dangerous spot right there.
No, facing the back straightaway, and let's take a second look at how this all went down is from Jackson Beckel's point of view. Chaos in front of him. Weehaw, makes his way through. Cody Weldon, the 151, and Weldon sneaks past, so into the intersection. Yep, Reinders kind of got sandwiched there as Moffitt. The third place car ran into him, so caution here early on in this contest, and it's going to be interesting to see how scoring has it coming through the intersection, as that lap was by no means complete here at Evergreen Speedway. And it will sequence out kind of how I thought. Now with back to the point goes Somerville, and the row behind them is now Moffitt and Beckel as we get back to green.
Yeah, green flag flies in the 21 of Somerville. It's been probably quite a few years since we've seen Somerville win a Stinger 8 feature out here. He hasn't been racing out here in the last couple years, so it's great to see him back as he is picking up from where he left off probably the last time we saw him in a Stinger 8 race. Probably a newly built car for him as well. And it looks like Beckel, hopefully, see if he can keep it there and gain one more spot for him.
Well, let's see what happens. There is definitely a traffic jam. You're getting great side-by-side action between Hathaway and Miller, who are in the bottom left and bottom right-hand corner as they race after each other. Miller's going to get ahead that time around. That side-by-side action here in this segment, all brought to you by Speedway Chevrolet. Visit Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe for customized trucks. Lifted trucks, work trucks, and Speedway Chevrolet can locate the truck that fits you best. Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center also wants your trade and will buy or consign your vehicle or RV. Take the hassle out of selling it on your own. Speedway Chevrolet.
Beckel slowly starting to catch the 21 of Matt Somerville. Really good corner that time by through the south turn. Right on the back end of Matt Somerville. We're probably the next lap or two going to have some intersection traffic here. And we saw before, Somerville tends to not stop either. That was probably one of the lightest hits Somerville's ever taken in the intersection. So we'll watch and see how this is all going to unfold in the next lap or two.
Somerville's going to have quite the tall task of trying to keep Beckel off him as look out, sparks flying out of the intersection of the 151 of Cody Weldon, almost making contact with another car. So Somerville going to have to figure it out and hold off what has been the fastest car in the division all year. Cody Weldon, look out. Look out, Cody Weldon. That's your leader. All right, they all made it by.
Yeah, that was
for
close.
a second.
It must be a Weldon thing. Both Weldons do not stop.
No, they are intersection magnets is what they're. It seems like there's always something just about going off as somebody almost just clipped the tail of that car on that last time.
Yeah, And both Weldons, whatever you do, keep doing what you're doing because you guys are putting on a fantastic show. As Somerville, that was close that last lap.
You do you, man.
Yeah, just keep doing it. Don't stop what you're doing.
If that means floor it, you floor it, buddy. Somerville and Beckel. Meanwhile, Riley Rudell and Calvin Miller, two of the bright young stars here of Evergreen Speedway, are peeling their way through the pack. They believe they're 4th and 5th right now in this running order.
Yeah, we have an issue going through the south turn. It looks like Jackson Beckel, or that'd be Josh Beckel, getting into the 16 of Peyton Hopp, and he just barely made it through the intersection that last time.
Peyton Hopp has lost a lot of ground out front. In fact, your leader's now coming up on him, and that's going to be a problem for Somerville and Beckel. You know, if Hopp's got that car working well, he's going to be a hard pass for your leaders.
Yeah, this will definitely could stir up some things here. Oh my gosh, look at all this intersection traffic through the X. Can't wait to see what's going to happen this next time on Home Track Heroes when we add probably another 10 more of these cars here.
Oh boy, and let him go for 30 minutes. That's going to be nuts. Somerville, good job getting underneath Hopp. Beckel was not, didn't have to break stride to stay with him though, so your lead continues in the place it is as there's Weldon again involved in something.
Yeah, poor Weldon. Oh, we got Gillespie into another tire too. Those poor tires. Magnets.
Donna, what do you got against the tires tonight? What's up with that? All right, now up on Draper. Welcome back from Utah, Mr. Draper. Here's a front bumper for your trouble.
Yeah. Oh, Hathaway had to take a hard right to get through all that too. That would have been very bad for Somerville if he did not take that right-hand turn.
This is 3rd, 4th, and 5th. The white 102, the blue and white 49, and the black and white 20 are those cars. And now they've shuffled Weldon in and behind them. As we look back on your lead, too, the 21 of Somerville and the 18 of Beckel. And Somerville, not fazed by the pressure from the kid, continues to make good laps out in front of this field.
Somerville, definitely, he's been out here, I believe. He started around 2011, 2012, and originally started in Hornets, and then he did his first Stinger 8 race, and he was hooked after that. Didn't do much Hornet racing after that.
We're watching 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the moment. Something to consider. Your race leader is coming up on Jackson Beckel's father. I think that's the 830 of Josh Beckel, and those two have been known to drive in tandem. So Josh might be looking to help his boy out a little bit here. Although it looks like Somerville gets to the inside without incident.
Yeah, Josh, at this point, just got out of the way. Maybe he's going to follow and see how his son does.
Hey, give him some tips, right? Well, let's see what happens as he is now a car length back of Jackson, although those two starting to leave him a little ways. Now Somerville, conservative. There goes Beckel into the corner. He's got a small lane on him. Meanwhile, for 3rd coming through the intersection, Moffitt and Miller with cars flying around right in front of him. Moffitt, rear bumper cover dragging, holds it for now. Miller gonna look to the inside in the North Pole. Meanwhile, Beckel's got the run on Somerville. He'll take the lead.
Hey, give the lead to Beckel. What a great job of that pass. Oh, we're trading some paint. Looks like Kohler and the 102 of Moffitt still keep trading paint. That bumper is doing just fine, though.
Yeah, it's hanging on. That's all it's got to do. So Beckel finally got around Somerville and is already distancing. Look out, though. Intersection is all kinds of fun at the moment with 8 to go. This is not secure for Jackson Beckel by any means.
Yeah, so at this point, a little more contact with Jenkins as the 19 of Kohler trying to get around it. Jenkins having all sorts of problems. I was thinking he was going to go through there.
Can he get him? You thought he might be thinking about retribution. He gassed her up and almost looked like it. But that allowed Somerville to get right back up close to Beckel.
Yeah, this will definitely be interesting. It looks like we're about 6.5 laps to go as this is all Beckel's race at this point. Now it's clean and clear out in front at this point. We haven't seen the intersection. Let's see here. It's clean, but that was no, it wasn't.
Not.
No, it wasn't.
Not so fast, my friend. It is not clean. As cars coming from all over the place to try to interfere with this run. Meanwhile, they're stacking up a little bit further in the field. The 49 of Miller is 3rd. The 20 of Rudell is still 4th, although they're a long ways back from the lead pack.
Now, has he made it to the podium yet this year for Stinger 8 race?
I have not seen him there in the Stinger 8s yet. This would be it if he can get there. Now the intersection's starting to get clean for your top 2.
Yes, that was another announcer's jinx right there.
Commentator's curse. We
curse,
love the alliteration. It's all good.
Yeah.
4 laps to go now for Beckel, your track champion. Looking to punctuate it with a win here tonight on Home Track Heroes. Just got to make a few more passes through this incredibly dangerous intersection.
Yeah, if you're Jackson, you want to see that white flag come out now. As, oh my goodness, we got the 20.024 of Gillespie and the 85 of Jenkins make pretty hard contact. Now Draper going around, Miller going around as well. Kohler gets by, and so does the 20 of Riddell.
All right, if Riddell can get through, well, Miller kind of cut the corner, somehow holds on to third. There's Riley going about 15 wide there to get inside. He's got a nose on Miller, trying to fight for the spot. Miller somehow rallies back to the bottom and then ends up in the Uke tire. The Uke tire's taking a beating here tonight on Home Track Heroes.
Yeah, Miller sitting backwards. We stay green thus far, as this will be the white flag lap for Jackson Beckel. He already has the championship, so see if he can get a win here to top the whole 2023 season off for him. As, and Somerville made it really close that last time by, as through the south turn here.
Yeah, got a little risky there at the very end, did it not? As here we go, final corner. The win and the title, Jackson Beckel. Congratulations to him, heck of a year and way to punctuate it. Matt Somerville, a great run for second, and third, it's going to be Talon Kolar in the 19 car. Well done for him. Let's talk to your winners and your champions on the podium.
Would not be a Stinger 8 race without a certain degree of chaos. You were running actually around 6th for a majority of the race, and then everything kind of exploded in front of you, and suddenly you're in 3rd. What is that like from the driver's perspective when that sort of thing happens?
It's a great feeling. I was just waiting for them to make a mistake.
Now, you ran a great race in that number 19 new car, it looks like. Am I right on that?
That's my car, and Talon's is at home.
Now, can we expect to see you out here next week for 90 Minutes of Fear?
You better believe it.
Anyone you'd like to thank for your performance tonight?
I want to thank the crowd for being out here. I mean, we're here for you.
Driver of the number 19, Bryce Kolar, 3rd place tonight. Matt Somerville, driver of the number 21. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is your first Stinger 8 start of the season.
Yeah, this is. I picked the end of the season to come back out and try this out again, and it was a lot of fun.
Now, you had a great performance tonight working your way through the field, led most of the race. What more do you think you needed to hold off the 18J?
Gosh, a 10th would have probably helped, give me at least a chance, but congrats to Jackson on winning the championship. There's a reason he beat me.
You've driven the wheels off that car. Can we expect you back for 90 minutes next week?
I guess so at this point.
And who would you like to thank for that 21 machine?
My whole family, of course. They come out here every week. My work, Airport Welding and Muffler, they always throw everything at this car if I need anything. John Bender and the whole JBR crew. I showed up with this car, missed all of qualifying, and everybody thrashed to throw parts at it and rolled off the trailer and come home with a 2nd place.
Driver of the number 21, Matt Somerville, 2nd place tonight.
Stand back for a second. Got you a shirt.
Neato, more merch. Love merch. Alrighty, Jackson. You came into this season with more 2nd place finishes than anyone else in the series who started this season. You leave it with more wins than seconds. You leave it in dominating fashion coming into today, almost assuredly, and now here you are. How does it feel?
It's speechless. I don't even know what to say. This is amazing. When I started doing Youth Hornets 5 years ago, 4 years ago, never thought I'd be standing here.
You come away with a podium, a win, and of course the championship all in one fell swoop. What is it like to do that here on championship night number 2?
Feels good, I guess. Hold on. I don't know. Feels good. Don't really know how to feel. I won. Had a good battle with Matt forever, and that 68 really screwed you, Matt.
Can we look forward to seeing you out here for 90 minutes?
Yeah, I'm gonna win.
Bold claim. Of course, one last question, 2 questions, I guess. Have any different plans for next year, or are we gonna see this 18J back on the Stinger track?
I don't really know what I'm racing. You're going to have to ask John Bender.
Alrighty. And of course, who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
PRCBD, AutoWorks, John Bender, JBR, Dave, Riley, Matt, my dad, Uncle Wayne, Mikey, Ken, 2.5 and Barbecue, Jack Steelwell, Cody, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Jager, Brooklyn, and Paisley, Sierra and Amy.
Driver of the number 18J, Jackson Beckel, your champion and your winner.
3 of our 5 championships have been given out here on Seattle 11 as you're watching Home Track Heroes. He is multiple-time feature winner Chad Fitzpatrick. I am Caleb Hart. This is the Franks Radio Outlaw Figure 8 main event, 30 laps. Lineup looks like this. Jim Powers, the 007, sponsored by Pilchuck Heating. Dakota Wilkinson, the 25, sponsored by Tony V's Garage.
The 676 of Ricky Dietz, sponsored by Tire Pros of Arlington. And the 767 of Jamie Corbett, sponsored by A1 Auto Service Center.
Row number 3 is the V8 of Bill Fleischacker. Papa's Tavern sponsors him. John Carlson, the Cowboy, in the 50, sponsored by the Fireplace Guy, Hearth and Home LLC.
The 76S of Chris Southard, sponsored by Three Rivers Marine, and the 66 of Rick Jones, sponsored by Winners Speed Shop in Burien.
Kyle Shoecar in the Be Happy Carpet Cleaning number 11. 43 of Sheridan Vincent, the Siskin Power Equipment car. 10 cars, 30 times around for the Outlaws as we get ready to hand out the money to them. And of course, the next time you see them, it'll be next week on Home Track Heroes for 60 minutes of fear.
60 minutes as Jimmy Powers will try to grab the lead as the 25 of Dakota Wilkinson. Our last time out, I believe he was the winner. So he will be going for 2 in a row, as that was a great drive through the south end of the turn for Wilkinson.
You know, with the 5 Outlaws that we have here, a couple of the super stocks have chosen to come up. We're going to have a real discrepancy in speed, and that means we will see some intersection and should see some lap cars being a factor over the course of this race.
Yeah, well, probably in the next 10 laps or so. These cars between the super stock figure eights and the Outlaws probably are about a second to a second and a half, possibly. I would have to look at the time clocks right now. But Cowboy John Carlson, I believe, is in second spot in the points.
Trailing the 676 of Ricky Dietz, your defending track champion.
I believe it's quite a small battle as well, with only 5 of the Outlaws, and the rest are just
At the same time, they all factor into the points table.
They will.
Right. So,
they will.
like, if Ricky dropped out now with mechanical, that's still 10th place, and that's a big differential between wherever Cowboy finishes up, which right now is 3rd, and where that would be. So if you're Cowboy, you're hoping, all right, want to see the 676 pulling off soon. But you got to do everything you can. First get around him and get that position from him.
Yeah, and how the point system works out here is you get 50 points to win. 48, 46, 2 down, all the way down.
Okay.
Heat races are 8 points, and then it's 1 point all the way down until you get to 1 point. And I believe for qualifying, you get 8 points as well and 1 point all the way down as well. So those will add up, especially nights like tonight. You got your calculator out trying to figure out where you're going to finish in the point standings. As the 25 of Wilkinson still hanging tough, picking up from where he left off last time out here, as Shoecar looked like he had an issue going through the north turn.
It's either that or he just wanted to spin out for more TV time.
He could have.
Right? It's Kyle. I've seen him do some things. Most of them are entertaining. Spinning out for the crowd would be one of them.
So Ricky Dietz looking to possibly get another Outlaw Figure 8 championship. That was a good drifting.
Yeah, look at the neon, though, coming off the Carlson car. That's pretty impressive. That's a good look for Cowboy.
And we got a good battle for that 4th and 5th between Jimmy Powers and the 767 of Jamie Corbett, who has won a championship in the Hornet division out here, so he is a past champion. Jimmy Powers looking to get the Rookie of the Year for the Franks Radio Outlaw division. I believe he might have it locked up.
You look at it, these laps, they clip off really, really quick with the extra speed that these guys have coming in through the corners. And again, we talked a little bit earlier about the aerodynamics in the sprint cars. Well, all that side bite that their big top wings provide for them, those boards on the Outlaw Figure 8s do the exact same thing through the intersections of these cars.
Gotcha. And, I've been told by many drivers that when this class was called the Super Figure 8 division, and they were evolving to what they are now, when they started putting on those boards down the sides of their cars, they definitely could tell a difference going through the corners.
It's interesting. You ever watch any of the YouTube videos of like the fastest laps in the world, like stuff that happens at like Winchester and such like that? You look at the super late models that they have come out and take laps around that place. They'll put the big old sideboards on them as well to try to capture extra air and lock them down for lap time. So
Yeah, some of those cars tend to look like these when they do that.
very similar.
And I've seen it, and you probably might see it next week on Home Track Heroes during the 60 Minutes of Fear. A car or two get hit in the intersection, and when those boards fly off, you will definitely see them start to definitely have hard times going through the corners.
They will. It is their biggest payout race of the year. In fact, bonus for the Superstock figure eights. Top 3 are all picking up bonus money, and you'll see them all on the track at one time next weekend for our biggest field of the year and the longest race of the year here on the figure eight stuff. So if you love Evergreen Speedway's figure eight track, Home Track Heroes next week is the one you won't want to miss, as Wilkinson completes the 14th lap, just 16 to go, and this is easy. It's lather, rinse, repeat for Dakota Wilkinson.
As we got the 11 car, shoe car, sitting in the intersection. I think he meant to just stop to try to make and to not hit another car, but unfortunately they're so spread out he doesn't have a chance to get going, so they're still pointing. It looks like he's trying to get going, and he does this time by.
He at least, was able to watch a good race for a lap and a half.
Yeah, that's got to be scary sitting right there, especially with the Outlaws going flying by you like that. But it looks like the 676 of Ricky Dietz is chasing down his nephew. We'll watch and see what happens for the next 14 laps.
Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands, offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com as they are sponsoring this segment of Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11.
So top 3 still running the same as they pretty much how they started. As yeah, it looks like the 767 or the 676. See, he used to just be number 76, so he had to change it up on us.
Had to be a little bit different, right?
Had to be a little different.
Couldn't make it easy and just be a regular 2-number guy.
Nope.
Well, that's fine.
Him and Jamie had to change it up on us.
That's fine. Whatever works for him. So, out in front, it is Wilkinson, then Dietz and Carlson. It's been that running order for a little bit. The intersection hasn't played as much of a factor as we thought it would. However, slower traffic might start to be that factor right now.
Yeah, Chris Southard will go another lap down, and it looked like I believe that was Shoe Car going another lap down. They're also going to put down the 007 of Jimmy Powers in the next lap or two, and that was close.
Look out, yeah, Southard into the back of Shoe Car. Causes a bit of a chain reaction in behind him. They kind of collapsed like the fins on the accordion, right? Now they're going to spread back out if they can get back onto the hammer.
Yeah, these Outlaw cars cannot really take a hit like the super stock figure eight cars.
Sure.
Most of these Outlaw cars, I believe a lot of them are hand built, or like the super stock figure eight cars are old late model chassis.
Sure.
So
you look at them too, it looks like just due to, I don't know if it's tire, motor, combination of both, but these cars are a little peppier when it comes to throttle control.
Yes,
or
yeah.
Throttle pickup, I should say.
Well, I know the motor that's in Ricky Dietz's car is out of my old super late model.
And that thing probably ripped, right?
Oh, it definitely did rip. Yeah. So, yeah, he has my old super late model motor in that car.
Gotcha.
And it seems to be running just fine. I talked to him a couple weeks ago, and they really haven't had to do much to it in the 4 years that he's had it.
You wonder if that motor got some of the crazy Cajun love that Vert Dietz is known for on some of his stuff.
You never know.
What we call that in some portions of the world is hillbilly ingenuity. Right? You find tenths of a second in weird places.
All I remember is when they went to buy it, and they go, we're going to put a figure eight car. Are you sure?
Yeah, we're sure. Yeah. Well, it's Harry up in front of your leaders right now as Dakota Wilkinson continuing to lead. Gets that lap put on Powers in the 007. Now Dietz to the outside of the 007 as well. Nice sportsmanlike move there by Southard in the 76 to kind of allow your leader to have a lane coming through. So right now, weaving through traffic expertly. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the 66 of Jones, not the 76. Jones lets the leader by. Yeah, Dietz had to wiggle his way past a little bit. But
just let him know he was there.
Yep, Carlson could not capitalize on it. Now Fleischhacker's turn. Wilkinson will get around. Dietz and Carlson coming up and onto that piece of slower traffic themselves to see how they handle it.
And looks like the 00, the 50 of Cowboy John Carlson looking, oh, we got some issues. The 66 of Jones up against the turn 4 wall. We'll see what happened there.
Well, didn't get a replay from our Home Track Heroes crew, so Jones comes to a stop. That stacks this field up, though, Chad, and this is going to make for an interesting restart.
Yeah, it looks like we have, I believe it's going to be 4 laps to go, maybe 5, as we're going to do the Delaware-style restart, and Wilkinson will obviously have the advantage since he is all by him lonesome up front.
Yeah, and he's hoping that Dietz and Carlson battle for a lap or two, but that's not the case. Carlson cleared Dietz, making his way into the right-hand turns, or the south pole if you prefer. So now Cowboy John Carlson with a shot at Dakota Wilkinson to try to interrupt 2 in a row at the end of the season here.
Yeah, Dakota going for that 2 in a row. Carlson already has a championship under his belt, looking to hopefully get 2, as this is actually his 20th anniversary of getting his first, so he has quite a few championships out here, and of course, more main event wins than probably almost anyone out here. But Wilkinson hanging on for dear life as the Cowboy John Carlson has woke up with the last 2 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are closing in, we'll see the white flag the next time around. Wilkinson made a really nice corner there. He'll get into the North Pole and to the white flag. So can Wilkinson get number 2? Cowboy is there just in case, but he's just got to make a couple more set of good turns, does Dakota. He is through the south and on to make one more big left-hand sweeper. In through the corner he goes. Dakota Wilkinson gets the win. Congratulations. Carlson second. Dietz third by our math. I think that means that Ricky Dietz is going to be your track champion. So let's talk to all 3 of them at the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
All right, Cowboy, just a little short there. I'm sure it's a little sour, but nonetheless, 8 figure 8 titles is nothing to laugh at nonetheless. Come here from Superstock Figure 8s, running Outlaw. What's the difference?
You know, the Outlaw cars were really fast. Everybody's really tight. About the only time you can make a pass on somebody is if they screw up in the corner, they hit some oil, slide out, or try to catch somebody on a restart like I did with Ricky. I knew if the Dakota took off quick, I was expecting it, and I got it going, and I pulled a slide on Ricky coming off the corner and got him, and that was about the only way I was going to get Ricky.
That 50-car legendary out here at Evergreen Speedway, how confident are you going into 90 Minutes of Fear?
Oh, I'm ready to rock for it. We got some stuff going, and we're ready for that 60 Minutes of Fear. We should be able to pull off a win there tonight. I'm real confident for that one.
And who would you like to thank for your performance?
You know, my buddy Tony. It's always a shout out to him, working out of his shop. If it wasn't for his shop, I wouldn't be able to do this. I'd be out in the gravel somewhere working on my car. So this is especially for Tony. He's had a hard time not making it out this year. For this one's for my buddy Tony back home.
Driver of the number 50, second place tonight, the Cowboy John Carlson. We talked last time about the struggles at the start of the season, and then we talked about the future. Here we are now, a week later, 2 for 2, 2 in a row. What is that like heading into 90?
Well, we're hoping to make it 3 in a row.
That's the right philosophy right there. You drove the 25 car in front of so many titles behind you. The 676, your uncle has 4. Cowboy has 8. That's 12 titles right behind you. You hold them off to get this win. How does that feel?
It's just all the more motivation for next week to try to do it again.
And who would you like to thank for that 25 car?
I'd like to thank Pacific Northwest Forerunner, Tony V's Garage, A Wesco, 2 Girls in a Leaf. That's what it was. Pill Truck Heating, and my family, my spotter, everyone who's worked on my car, Bubba, everyone else who's come out and watched. That's it.
We look forward to seeing him at 90. Driver the number 25, race winner, Dakota Wilkinson. Your second championship in a row here in the Outlaw Figure 8s. It comes after a long season and a long battle between you and the Cowboy. How's it feel to come away with it here on championship night number 2?
It feels really lucky, to tell you the truth. We struggled all year. The car hasn't been all that good. I thought that I was really smart as a chassis guy, and it turns out that I'm really not. I'm just a driver. But this man right here, man, I don't know what to tell you. This man right here sells tires and fixes cars. I wish he knew how to set up race cars because he does a great job at fixing street cars, but I don't think he could handle that. But he gives back to so many people. He's gotten me to raise money for kids' football teams, the Salvation Army, Red Cross. He gives back more than he gets in, and I really look up to him. My brother, he keeps me making my car look nice. He says it's dirty, wash that thing. And Augie right here from PTM, he's not only one of my best friends, but he's the guy that keeps me calm in the car. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably wreck a lot, which you guys would probably enjoy, but my pocketbook wouldn't, and he wouldn't like it either. But I definitely I like doing this. I like putting on a show for everybody that comes out here and takes away from their families or whatnot to come out here and watch us race. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the Hobbs family for this facility and Channel 11 for airing us. It's pretty cool. I mean, there are too many racetracks in the country that gets this to happen. But you fans, that's what I do this for. I love entertaining you, and I hope to do this for many more years. Thank you.
One last question. You ready for the 90 minutes?
No, I'm never. I think it's 60 minutes for one. For two, I'm never ready, but I'll be here because I got to put on a show for all these guys. Checkers or wreckers on that one, baby.
The showman and the driver of the 676, Ricky Dietz.
It's our final segment, our final title to hand out tonight here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. He is two-time late model feature winner this year, Chad Fitzpatrick, and he laughs every time, but he's earned it. And I am Caleb Hart. It is time for the Granite Super Sprint main event. And on the pole is the 19 of Chase Sabato. Next to him, Sabato sponsored by First Line Systems Inc., by the way. Randy Dubois next to him, the 7D sponsored by Geico.
The 63 of Marty Rosler sponsored by Gidlin Rosler Racing, and the 44 of Todd Coleman sponsored by Fleet Service.
Jay Dishnu is running the 40 car sponsored by Newman Racing. Next to him, Greg Middendorf in the 4 in the Middendorf Motorsports car.
And the 11 machine is Troy Globe, sponsored by Brian's Auto Glass, and the 12 of Cameron Neisinger, sponsored by Granite Construction.
Cody Ridge is the 8. First Line Systems Inc. sponsors him. 57, Evan Margison, the Westlake Properties car. Then Brad Auman in the 8A. Tom Turner and Island Race Masters is the field. We were expecting Todd Coleman, but Toddco doesn't get the car all fixed up to make it out for the season title. So,
oh, that's unfortunate for him.
It is rough. So we'll go in car with Cody Ridge as we are just about ready to go. They'll roll through turn number 3 to the gas. They come off of turn number 4, and this race is underway.
This looks like Chase Sabato will grab the lead. Actually, now it looks like the 7 car of Randy Dubois had a really good start that time through 1 and 2.
So down the back they go. Caution flag is out, and that is Neisinger who is heading off into the grass. So let's take a second here. Neisinger flies back up and off the corner. Replay for what happened.
Looks like got in the back end of Greg Middendorf, possibly.
Second view from it from Cody Ridge's car, and so
that could have been bad.
That could have been way worse than
really
well.
Bad.
You know, sprint cars make contact; they're open wheel, and parts go flying. Race cars go flipping. Sometimes it is all bad things. All bad things. So second try getting this up and going. We will go in cockpit with Jay Dishnu here. Dishnu, part of a pretty decent points race that we've got going on. And through the corner, we are green. Oh. Dishnu picked up a lot of spots there coming to the inside. He's gone from 6th to 3rd off the turn, but you know, you look at the way that started, and we've seen penalties be assessed after the fact on stuff like that.
I've been personally penalized for that. You're technically, that was the initial start, and you're not allowed to pass before the start-finish line. Well, he passed 3 cars before that happened. So we'll watch and see what happens. And like what we talked about before, they don't have spotters.
Right. They're their radios are from the tower only. So in cockpit race receivers. So it's only the track officials that can talk to the drivers here. Our race leader is going to be Dubois in the 7. Well, there is Coleman. I must have missed him.
So he looked like he did make it out.
Okay, so
I think it was the
Coleman's
heat race we didn't get to see him.
Yeah, it's late in the year. I'm allowed. That's my one mistake for the night.
Okay, good.
I'll take it right
We
there.
used it. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. Coleman second, Dishnu in the 3rd spot as we're 4 in and 26 to go. Out in front of this field, that is Margison in the 57 and the 4 car in behind him of Middendorf trying to make some progress, but it's actually Margison who's climbing his way up the field as Evan started in position number 10.
Wow, that's a good. If they had a hard charger award, he would definitely be earning it right now. As the 4 car of I believe that was Middendorf, is he sitting in 4th, I believe, maybe 5th?
Right, taking a peek at it, Dubois is your reigning track champion, but there's Coleman, big run to the inside as Todd right up on the back of Dubois in the 7. Coleman has not been at the top spot in victory lane here for a couple of years, and you know he is desperately wanting it as he shoots the low groove into 1 and 2, cut the corner pretty hard, and has a decent run on Dubois getting into 3.
Yeah, he clearly seems to be the faster car between both of them, but just cannot, when he gets up to them, the car starts to get a little bit squirrely. Talking about that dead air or that loose air? Dirty air. Dirty air. That's what it was.
Yep, dirty air on the pavement track. It still applies. He does have a better line coming off the bottom of 4, but you can see the 7 of Dubois continues to distance himself. Now, we did see a flag being thrown there from the flag stand, and I couldn't pick out the color on that flag. Hard to see it down the front straightaway that time, but I wonder if they are trying to penalize Dishnu now.
That's what possibly might be going on, as, like I said, he jumped the start past 2 to 3 cars before the start-finish line.
They pulled it back that time. I didn't see it waving out on that one, but again, you only have to show it technically once to have the flag come into effect.
Yes.
So, and, you know, jumping a start, typically you're going to get penalized on the next stoppage, but that stoppage really hasn't come yet. So we're 12 laps in, so it's possible that they enforce whatever penalty they're trying to put on Jay at the very end of this race.
Yeah, because you can't guarantee another caution at this point. We may finish this race going caution-free, as Coleman, he'll get up there, and then he'll get in that dirty air, and then he'll fall back again, as the 40 of Jay Dishnu has slowly started to catch the 44 of Coleman, as Rossler hanging on for dear life for 4th over the 57 of Evan Margison.
Marty's a veteran. He's actually been picking up a little bit speed as the year's gone on. You remember him from back in the late model days, as the guy's got his name in the back of the shirt for a Fall Classic win.
Yeah,
taking to the open wheel stuff here in the last couple of seasons and doing a good job holding off Evan.
Yeah, last year I believe we saw him in a Focus Midget, and then this year he moved up into the sprint cars, as he's doing a great job hanging tough for 4th. As he's making it hard for Margison to get around him. As up front still, the 7 car of Randy Dubois hanging on for dear life. It's a top 3 breakaway at this point for the lead.
And again, in a race that's going nonstop so far, Margison to the inside, he'll finally get past the veteran down the back straightaway. It is Dubois, Coleman, and Dishnu. 1, 2, and 3. Not a lot of movement there, although this time that's a strong bid for the lead by Coleman coming through 1 and 2. Can't get a better run on Dubois. He'll try again in turn number 3, shows him a nose.
Oh, I think they might have made a little bit of contact through 3 and 4, and that definitely messed whatever he had for the 7 of Dubois. Coleman hanging on now for dear life for 2nd, and Margison looking to gain in that battle as well.
That's an interesting look in the cockpit of Dubois. He is down right along the stripe in 3 and 4, but you see in 1 and 2, he continues to leave half a groove, and right down kind of underneath him, there's room to sneak on by and force him up racetrack if Coleman can stick more of a nose in.
Yeah, he's definitely running out of laps, 10 laps this time by. He's going to have to figure out a way, go to the outside, inside, sneak some way to get around him.
Todd's also got a little push in turn 3 that's hurting him on the exit of 4 and like robbing him a bit of straightaway speed. Let's watch it again, and there's that push. You can see the back end push out on it, and we've got a car off the pace, and it's Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman had something going on. He's staying out so far. That'll move Margison into 3rd.
While we continue to watch this race, the Granite Super Sprint Car main event in this segment brought to you by Granite Construction, proud sponsor of the Super Sprint Car Series, celebrating over 100 years in business. Granite Construction, an award-winning company, great place to work. Find your dream job today at graniteconstruction.com.
clean and clear out in front. Randy Dubois, it's been his since the start of the race. The 40 car Jay Dishnu hanging on for dear life. Margison, probably arguably one of the faster cars on the track since he was about half a lap behind him, and he has caught up to them with the last 10 laps.
Okay, so ripping down the front straightaway here. Margison is closing the gap. Dishnu in second, trying to pick off one more spot, as Dubois, he's had it from the very beginning. Trying to bring her home here, as we are 5 laps to go. Dubois has not been flawless, though. We've seen gaps and places to have him potentially pass. Dishnu's just got to put the right combination of laps together at the same time while not screwing up and opening the door up for Evan.
He definitely does. He has only 4 laps to go, so that'd be probably only about a minute left of this race. As
there it is. Oh, no, wrong battle.
No, looks like that is the 8 car of, that might be Cody Ridge and Marty Rossler?
That's Almond's 8A going underneath Marty. That's
see.
My second mistake of the night. I'll have to borrow one from a future week. That's fine.
So who was in the contention for the championship right now?
So taking a look at it, I know Dishnu is right up there. I believe that it's Margison's 57 is the other one involved. No, it's Neisinger who is the other one involved in that, in the 12 car. And he's just kind of hanging out 7th at the moment. So Neisinger in 7th. Dishnu, as it sits right now, depending on that start, I think mathematically would have it, but we're going to have to see. As here comes the checkered flag, and Randy Dubois is going to take the win. Second place on the track is Dishnu. Third is Margison. And it's coming down the officials' radio. Yes, Dishnu has been penalized for the start. That'll make Neisinger the champ. Let's go down to the podium.
Well, Brad, this 8 car was on rails all night. Quick qualifier, and then the full inversion meant that you had to be up on the wheel from the start. We saw those front brakes were glowing on the 8A. What did it take to even charge up to a 3rd place finish tonight?
Yeah, we've been fighting this car, you know, I don't want to say all year, but we've been chasing some gremlins, and we thought we made it a bit better. In the heat race, it was back worse than ever. Kenny Haskell worked his magic and got me a pretty good race car.
And I know this car looked like it was fairly dialed in, and especially when you get spread out on a green flag run like that, it's hard to come through the field. What was it like trying to work traffic without the help, really, of lap traffic? It was just some of the quicker guys in front of you.
Yeah, that race went way faster than War of the Wings. You know, we just needed another 10 laps or a caution in there, and I think we may have had something for him. But had an awesome race with Marty. I'm sure he'll be joking around with me about that later. So had a great day. You know, we weren't even planning on coming to this race, but we were trying to get that 3rd place monkey off our back. But I guess we carried into Vegas for December.
Hey, that'd be a good time to get it off your back, especially with the big payday on the line. Who do you got helping you get over from Vancouver Island to the finale here for the Granite Wing Sprint Cars?
Island Race Masters, Upland Contracting, K&D Contracting, Northwind Environmental, Double L Electrical. You know, High Five Racing consists of Kenny Haskell, myself, and Dan Myers, and the dedication that those guys have into this race program, and you know, myself is amazing. You know, there's some top-notch guys hanging out in our pit. It wouldn't look like it, but they know how to get stuff done.
Brad Allman getting the job done with the 3rd place run tonight, the 8A. Nice drive through the field, Brad. Evan, I know you guys didn't have the luck that you would have wanted at War of the Wings with, I think it was the rear end letting go in the 57 car. You got her patched back together tonight, and it looked like it was another strong run. I think it was the same case as Brad. Might have needed a yellow there to try and shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would maybe change the outcome of the race. You never know. I mean, everybody's so fast, and it's so dang hard to pass. But, yeah, the big invert kind of killed us. I had to drive pretty hard there at the beginning to get to in that, you know, 4th, 5th position. So, yeah, you know, I didn't have a lot of tire left there at the end. I was just kind of riding. But, yeah, if a caution could have cooled them down a little bit, might have changed things up.
Was the chance just throwing the wing in the trunk there for the last few laps or so, last half of the race, and trying to hang on?
Yeah, I got pretty tight there. I was actually going the opposite way. I was going forward with it. So, yeah, I mean, our car was good, but just, you know, ran out of time. But, yeah, I just want to thank everybody that helps out on the car. Fleet Service, Kennelly Keys, Signature Texturing, Frankie's Pizza, Westlake Properties, Yeah, and all the fans and just everybody who helps out on the car.
Evan Marginson, strong second place run to cap off his year in the 57. Well, photos wrapping up down here. Randy, I know you had to put the backup motor to the backup motor in this thing to get it out this weekend. Not too bad for a 20-plus-year-old 360.
Yeah, I think we might have killed it. The temperature gauge kind of went all the way around, so I'm not sure what's left of it, but it hung on. I figured if we got the lead, it would roll around pretty good. Our car was a little tight. We moved the wing forward, but it wasn't horrible, and we hung on for the win. It was a great way to end the season, and I just can't thank my crew enough. Orville, Leslie, and Janet. We had an issue with some gasoline in one of our jugs and ended up putting 5 gallons in. We had to drain all the fuel, get methanol in it. Anyway, we got it all fixed, but yeah, it was great.
I know you had a few guys taking a peek to the inside. I think Todd took a look going through 1 and 2 there, the one lap, so it had to be up on the wheel as always with these things, especially since it's like you got blinders on driving these race cars.
Yeah, I never saw him or heard him, but I figured somebody was back there. So, yeah, I'm just glad it turned out the way it did. It was a lot of fun.
Randy Dubois gets himself a win heading into the offseason, then 70. Nicely done, Randy. Well, Cameron, it was a wild start to the main event there. You got a little bit of airtime and off the back straight. From your perspective, unfortunately, you had the best seat in the house. What happened on lap 1?
I just knew I needed to get forward. I know Jay was up on me in points going into the night. And went high sides, stayed out there on the exit, and, well, I was out a little too far, so.
Still managed to reel it in. Did it knock anything around to the front end at all, or was it pretty much clean sailing?
I think for the most part it was clean sailing. The only thing was cosmetic damage.
I know with the 12 car, it's been strong running all year. You guys finally got the tune-up and the setup back on this thing. I know it's a little bit of a surprise maybe at the end of the night to wind up as a champion, but what does it feel like getting championship number 2 under your belt here at Evergreen Speedway?
I mean, number 2 is good, but I don't think any driver can say that they want to take it like this, right? But, you know, we're here, we finished, and it's a good way to end the career.
I know kind of wrapping up things with the 12 camp, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that's kind of helped you along this journey. It's been a long time coming up to this point, a lot of highlights, especially right here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, you know, I think number 1 is my parents, number 2 would be my wife, the rest of my family that has supported me the entire time we've been out here. You know, everybody that helps on shot nights, coming out during the race days, and then obviously all his sponsors, Clean Crawls, Chandler's Reach, PI Guy, Johansson Mechanical, Granite Construction, Woodinville Import, Sacred Smoke, new cigar bar in Tulalip, plug, you should go check them out. Facelift Painting, just everybody, Fleet Service, Randy Dubois, Travis Kuhn, all the boys. They definitely helped make this happen.
Cameron Neisinger, 2023 champ of the 12 car. Nicely done. Cameron, time to spray some champagne down in the front.
It's a really quality champagne shake there from Neisinger, wasn't it?
That was.
Not
very
bad.
Impressive.
Well, congratulations to Cameron Neisinger, along with our other 4 champions, Ricky Dietz in the Outlaw Figure 8 division, Jackson Beckel in the Stinger 8s, John Carlson in the Superstock Figure 8s, and Zach Bristol in the Hornets as they win titles. Gave out some hardware as well. And next week on the show, it is 90 entire minutes of fear, 60 for the big cars, 30 for the Stinger cars. That's coming up. We're also going to have buses and the Hornet Nationals, maybe throw in some mini bump to pass as well. And then the next time you can be here at Evergreen Speedway DriftCon after dark, Saturday the 30th. Make your plans to be here. Chad, awesome show. Thanks for being here again.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations on that second win once again. For 2-time feature winner in the late model on the year, Chad Fitzpatrick. For Derek and Griff and the entire Home Track Heroes production team. And, of course, all the fine folks back at Seattle 11. My name is Caleb Hart. We'll see you here next weekend for 90 minutes of fear. Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on KSTW 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.